Okay, another quick look. And today we're going to look at Black Tabby game. Slay the Princess. Okay, a new game. Let's go. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
For some reason, this guy reminds me of Bellos from the voice of Bellos from Bell House. Alright, explore the end of the world. What the hell are you talking about? Have you considered maybe the only reason she's going down the world is because she's locked up? Killing the princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Because I'm okay with ending the world. Let's go with this one.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
But why though?
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Turn around and leave.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
Also, how am I talking to the narrator?
You have to put an end to her. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
What if you're a major a-hole?
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but
See?
surely you're not one of those, right?
Well, you're the narrator, you tell me.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
I could leave or silently continue to the cabin. I've got a coin here. Heads, we go to the cabin silently. Tails, we leave and turn around. Heads, we continue on silently.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further.
Now he says the warning.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
To be honest, looking at this thing on Steam, it just looks... I think some people might mistake this for one of those H games that pop up all the time.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Alright, into the cabin we go.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Alright, let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I mean, like, if he's got the muscle, he could probably choke her. That could even be worse.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill?
Oh, wrong button.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten the grip just in case.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other? Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade.
Alright, heads, we drop the blade. Tails, we kill her. Tails, slay the princess.
You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the
How
princess
could she
with strokes of
have
red.
it? She has
Better
no
finish your
sleeves,
task
barely.
quickly before you run out of time. Are you serious? The wound in your neck is too much for you to bear. You collapse to the floor of the basement, rapidly
Yes, and this was his idea. I didn't want to do any of this.
The princess stands over you with an intense curiosity as you fade away.
Oops.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Razor.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that
Alright.
path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to slay her. It hasn't. Or if it
I
has,
guess we have a
certainly
time
haven't
loop
been
situation
apart.
going on.
We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. When we asked you if you were sure she didn't have a weapon on her, you said you were positive she didn't. But it turns out she did, because when we charged her, she started stabbing us to death.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine. Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We did exactly what you said. Sounds to me like you probably had some kind of elaborate nightmare, in which case I shouldn't be held accountable for what supposedly happened. But congratulations, you've been given a chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back to where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Technically, I have the memories of what happened last time, so that's pretty much the consequence.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? She's not going to play fair, so we should do what we can to save ourselves and just get out of here.
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around and leave, you're dooming yourself as well as everyone else. She just caught us by surprise last time. She can't do that twice. So long as we're careful, we can win this. That's the spirit. Just keep that stiff upper lip, and you'll save the world in no time. Just be quick about it.
Alright, who locked her in the basement?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Why aren't there any guards?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Lost a bet in a bar fight.
If anyone's special here, it's her. That was a nasty trick she pulled on us.
She just can. But she's still only a princess. You're fully up to the task you've been given, so long as you remember that. I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
You didn't tell us about her knife last time, though.
That's because she's unarmed. And more than that, it's because there wasn't a last time.
Alright, that's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Alright, to the cabin.
A warning. Before you, she will lie, she will...
You couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
We know what to look out for this time. Just stay focused.
I'll skip the dialogue I've already heard.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped
Alright,
wood and broken
this is
boards,
different.
their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a... The blade is your implement. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Can you two stop arguing? It's stressful enough in here without all of this extra noise.
As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Alright, let's approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing tricks on us. I hate this place.
Judging by our hand, we are not human.
You take the blade from the table.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives
I
here,
don't know if nosebleeds, no blood smells like. Ugh.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
Is that a hint of sarcasm I hear?
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
Alright, let's see what we got.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
Also, look at her face. She has a real smirk
If
on
she
her.
sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right? That's so rude of you, passing judgments on strangers you've never met just because they're different from you. How would you like it if I did that, huh? Silly little bird-face thinks he's so serious coming down here but doesn't know anything. Thinks he can tell me to get rid of all the knives I don't even have while he gets to wave one around right in front of me. I bet you didn't like that, did you? I bet you didn't like being judged for no reason.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
She certainly feels threatening. Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it.
She has her arms behind her back the whole time.
But you know who is armed?
You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job.
But I'm nervous. all the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
I don't have the key.
Oh, you don't. Okay, I see. I have an idea. You should come over here and stare directly at the chains. You won't be able to find a key if you don't know what it's supposed to look like, so you better come right within close staring distance just to be sure.
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you finally decide you're ready to deal with her?
About 5 more times.
We're clearly still figuring out our angle. We don't have the luxury of watching this from a distance. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think I'm in a position of luxury right now? You're acting like you are. My entire world is at risk. And maybe you should behave with a little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way. No. I have my dignity. Fine. And will continue to treat you exactly.
What? No! No! I wouldn't stab you. I am just a sweet, innocent princess trapped here for no reason. And you are a brave knight who's supposed to walk up to, not stabbing distance to help me.
I think I've said my piece at this point. I think we all have. But if you want to keep exhausting your questions, it beats getting stabbed to death.
Nice. Okay, let's have a look here.
But I'm not mad at you, so please stop standing so far out of reach. Okay, I'm bored now.
She's bored? That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm,
Ouch.
her wrist limp and empty from the violent expulsion. Huh. So I guess she did have a knife of her own after all. How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. Now what are we going to do? At least we're safe here. She's still in chains. And those chains stop her from continuing her advance, at least for a moment. She looks down at them with something between annoyance and confusion. And then she slices through her arm.
Okay.
Okay, maybe we aren't safe here. She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hope to outpace. Ah, shit. Okay, she's down an arm and we still have a weapon. I guess we'll have to use it to do. But unfortunately for you, and for the entire world, you are horribly outmatched. You keep pace with her for a single brief and wordless exchange before she severs your hand and, with it, your only line of defense.
I hate being disarmed.
She's even better at this than she was last time. Bloody cheater.
I'm going to kill you now.
Oh shit.
With a squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The arms race.
You're on a path in the woods. No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin. You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do? I feel dizzy. Ho 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 ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now? The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight. What's the point of fighting if she's just going to win every time? It hurts being sliced to pieces.
We're better off just sitting up here and doing nothing.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times?
This is our third?
No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
I couldn't agree more. We couldn't be trusted with the fate of a single person, let alone the fate of the world.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It will be difficult to slay the This feels right. That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually.
And what if we never do?
So, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to head to the basement like you're supposed to? I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right? But there isn't a door, it's just that mirror again. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right.
Right, approach the mirror.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it.
Let's just move it out of the way without looking. I don't want to see us. I'm sure we all look awful after dying twice.
Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess. Reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising. It was never there. Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
We said that last time, look what happened.
You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom. Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Fun for her, maybe. I didn't like dying all over again.
Thinking about dying makes us as good as dead. The only thing that matters is survival. Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once. Nothing bad has come of it yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered. The past isn't real. There's only here and now. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain claps. She's loose, and she is...
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for it.
Right, so we've got a fighter, obviously.
No, that's a...
We're dead either way.
Screw it, we've already died twice. What's a third? A third is a third. It's bad. Who cares? Fine. You raise your blade up.
Oh, this is new. What are you going to do? Are you really going to stab yourself? Neat.
Then you skewer yourself.
Okay, I was expecting that.
Ow. we still here? Can we not actually off ourselves? Boo! Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? Nah, we'd know if we died. Right? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I think we're dead. And that's all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead.
Oh, so she's standing there with 2 blades.
This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another... us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her, as long as we keep moving.
Oh, great. So it's going to get even more crowded. Even more deluded voices that think we might stand any kind of chance.
Who cares about getting better than her? Let's do something weird. Like, really, really weird.
Come on, show me something new.
Well, if we try fighting her, she'll just flirt with her. See what happens there.
Compliment her on those gleaming blades. There's nothing better than a capable woman. She skewers you.
You're cute.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps. We just have to hit her harder. She skewers you.
You'll have to be trickier than that.
Just panic. Flee. She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how
She's
this
also becoming more
works.
horrifying. All more blades each
You
time.
see that? We almost had her. That was luck. But we only have to get lucky once. She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up. Okay, let's go again. Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was a good one. None of this is working. Think. She skewers you.
Oh, wrong button again.
We're getting close to something. Can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time. That's all we need. And then everything goes dark. And you die. Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin and we'll take it from here. Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand. Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window? Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful...
I don't think those are hands anymore.
Sure, I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll not...
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover. Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this. Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it.
Are you gonna say what she does? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing.
Yeah, me too.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red
that's
beams of
horrifying.
raw meat as it stretches and tears. Then it erupts. She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit! She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine. Yes, behold, the perfect woman. Do you think we can throw her out the window? That looked painful. How is she still alive? Heart's still beating, that's all she... This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it? This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
How can she see? She doesn't have any eyeballs.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it. What just happened? It's so quiet.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
You do not act, and yet through that inaction your body moves on its own. The princess strikes as you approach, but as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
There's only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster the momentum volleys between you. Well, she's dead. And it's the mirror again. It's me.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles,
Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is sharp and single-minded. She is cruelty, but she is also joy. She will make for an indomitable heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections, a dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me. We are oceans reduced to shallow creeks. How can the world have ended if we are talking? I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I know only that they are. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. Everything, until we meet again.
I guess this is the end of the loop. We'll probably get sent back right to the start before we even met the first princess.
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Alright, guess we go forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Just talk about crashing end. Bring the razor full to her. Oh, that was an interesting run around. So I say we call that there, and if I come back to this game later, we'll keep going. See what else we can get. It's an interesting game, though. You know, it's like different choices lead to different permutations, though. And with that, we are outie. Yeah.